Hey guys, welcome to yet another defending video. In today's video, we'll be looking at three topics: second man press, partial team press, and some D-pad tactics. But before we get started, I wanted to give a massive shout out to Tegma, yo pal. I appreciate your support, my friend, and I hope I didn't butcher your name. And with that being said, let's get into the video. Second man press is a tool that will help you press your opponent using an AI controlled player. To perform it, you press and hold the R1/RB button, and your player will have a green gauge bar around their cursor. You can't use the second man press on one player forever. There is a time limit, which is why I recommend you switch between your players while you're pressing your opponent. Second man press, in my opinion, is best to isolate your opponent instead of trying to win back the ball in every situation. A quick tip: turn on the next player indicator so you'll know which of your players will be pressing. Lastly, I suggest you don't use it too often with your center backs because it will open up spaces which your opponent can exploit. Partial team press. This is new to FIFA and it allows you to select up to 2 AI controlled players. To perform it, you double tap and hold the R1/RB button. But unlike second man press, the AI controlled players don't press your opponent, but rather they close down the closest passing options. The AI controlled players appear to be chosen at random, so using this to press your opponent may not be a great idea. But one place you can use this mechanic is to defend a pass from the byline. Since this mechanic closes the closest passing options, it's better suited in this situation. Of course, this doesn't work 100% of the time, but employing this at the right time will help prevent you from conceding more goals. The next topic we'll look at is probably the one that is most overlooked, and it's the D-pad tactics. These are preset tactics and they can help you get an edge over your opponent. There are tactics for when you are both defending and attacking. To access these tactics, you either press down or up on the D-pad and you'll see a menu pop up on the bottom of your screen. Pressing up on the D-pad will display tactics related to attacking play. Now, since this is a defending video, we'll focus more on the defending tactics, and to access them, you press down on the D-pad. Once this is done, you'll be able to choose from 4 options. Note: when you activate a D-pad tactic, it will remain in effect until when you turn it off. So, now let's look at the 4 tactics you get when you are defending. The first one is striker drop back. To perform it, you press down, then up on the D-pad. This tactic instructs your striker to help your team out defensively by acting more like a midfielder. If you have more than one striker in play, then the striker with the better defensive work rates and marking attributes will drop back. This tactic can reduce your offensive options, but the trade-off is that your team can have more defensive support. The second tactic is team press, and to perform it, you press down then left on the D-pad. This tactic encourages your AI controlled players to apply heavy pressure to your opponent for up to 20 seconds or until they lose possession. After every use of this tactic, there is a 100-second cooldown before it fully recharges. If you use this tactic frequently, it will drain your team's stamina. And the third tactic is overload ball side. To perform this, you press down then right on the D-pad. This tactic encourages your team to play compactly in defense, but will drain your stamina quickly as a result. This greatly reduces your team's width. While this is active, your team shape will try to go towards the ball, potentially ignoring defensive player instructions and marked opposition players. The last tactic we'll look at is the offside trap. To perform this tactic, you press down on the D-pad twice. This tactic tells your defenders to quickly push forward as a unit with the intention of catching your opponent offside. Using this without caution can lead to easy breakaways for the attacker. With the offside trap, I don't usually use it to catch my opponent offside, but rather to push their front line backwards. If your opponent is facing towards your goal, do not use the offside trap, because your players will all push forward and your opponent will be through on goal. It's safer to use the offside tactic when the ball is in motion and your opponent isn't passing towards your goal. That will be the end for today's video. I hope you guys found it useful, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.